The film kicks off in a Tokyo hospital with a somber moment as Yuichi Kimura, also known as the father, sits beside his son Wataru, who had an unfortunate run-in with gravity after being pushed off a rooftop. Yuichi's father, the ever-stoic the elder, drops by with some fatherly wisdom. Fathers are supposed to protect their families. Translation: nice job failing at that, son. Motivated and possibly guilt-tripped, Yuichi sets off to find the rooftop pusher. Meanwhile, Ladybug, an assassin who has all the grace and luck of a cat stuck in a paper bag, is returning to work after some me time. His handler, Maria Beetle, assigns him to retrieve a briefcase on a bullet train. Ladybug immediately questions his life choices but heads off anyway, only to literally bump into Yuichi and accidentally acquire a locker key and a train ticket. Classic case of finders keepers. In the locker he discovers a gun but decides against taking it because, apparently, he's into non-violent violence now. Maria, of course, thinks this is a terrible idea. On the train we meet twin assassins Tangerine and Lemon, whose resemblance to each other is about as convincing as a budget cosplay. They've been hired by the crime boss White Death to babysit his junkie son and retrieve the briefcase. Lemon has a bizarre yet oddly specific philosophy based on Thomas the Tank Engine, which leads to riveting discussions about whether their targets are more like Percy or Diesel. Meanwhile, Tangerine just wants to count how many people they've killed, preferably without Lemon's animated character analysis. Yuichi, on his revenge mission, boards the train only to be outmaneuvered and tossed by the prince, a schoolgirl assassin with a personality as sweet as a cactus hug. Turns out, she's the one who pushed Wataru, all part of her diabolical plan to lure Yuichi. She wants his help rigging the briefcase to blow up White Death, proving once and for all that cute outfits and a sociopathic streak can coexist. For good measure, she also rigs a gun to explode if fired, because overkill is her middle name. To keep Yuichi in line, she threatens Wataru's life with a henchman stationed at the hospital. Yuichi's day is officially worse than a Monday. Ladybug manages to snag the briefcase but runs into the conductor, who tells him he needs to get off at the next stop since he doesn't have a ticket. As if things couldn't get worse, he's ambushed by yet another assassin, the Wolf, who is on a revenge mission. A flashback reveals that Wolf's wedding was more, till death do us part, than he'd hoped, thanks to a poisoned tequila incident that wiped out the guests, including his wife. Wolf blames Ladybug for this catastrophe, and attacks him in the train's bar car. The fight ends when Wolf's knife ricochets off the briefcase and plunges into his own chest, marking him as the unfortunate winner of the Most Ironic Death Award. As Ladybug frantically tries to mop up the mess, Maria fills him in. The poisoned tequila was courtesy of a boomslang snake, which not only crashed the wedding, but also happens to be slithering around the train. Because, why not? Lemon and Tangerine discover that their briefcase has vanished into thin air. And to make matters worse, the son is now doing his best impression of a poison mannequin. They quickly cover his face, because no one needs to see that, and clean up the blood, all while grumbling like two overworked janitors. With their checklist of disasters growing, they head off to track down Ladybug, who's starting to feel less like an assassin, and more like a walking Murphy's Law magnet. Ladybug bumps into Lemon in the quiet car, where silence is golden, unless you're two assassins about to throw hands. Recognizing Lemon from a job in Johannesburg, Ladybug tries to reminisce while simultaneously trying to disarm him. They brawl like a couple of rowdy toddlers, shushing each other in between punches. Ladybug manages to knock Lemon out cold, and, in a moment of culinary brilliance, spikes Lemon's water bottle with sleeping powder. He then pulls off the classic assassin move, switching clothes with a confused passenger, who just so happens to look like Channing Tatum. Ladybug calls Maria, who casually drops the bomb that another assassin, the Hornet, is on board. Because what's a bullet train without a sting in the tail? Meanwhile, Tangerine has to step off the train at the next stop to reassure White Death's goons that everything is totally fine, despite the poisoned son, the missing briefcase, and his partner potentially napping somewhere. Things escalate when Tangerine finds Ladybug, and immediately assumes he's the culprit behind the son's untimely demise. They throw down, and in the process, Ladybug opens an emergency door, turning their fight into a high-speed game of Don't Fly Off the Train. After a near-death tango, they climb back in, only for White Death to threaten to kill everyone on board if they don't show up with the goods. Tangerine and Ladybug attempt to fool his men with a decoy briefcase. But Ladybug ruins the charade by accidentally opening it. Cue an awkward retreat back onto the train, where Ladybug boots Tangerine off, only for him to somehow parkour his way back on board like an action movie hero. Meanwhile, Lemon stumbles across Yuichi and Prince, immediately pegging them as shady characters. Using his patented Thomas the Tank Engine morality scale, he determines they're both trouble. Lemon shoots Yuichi, but still doesn't trust Prince. Unfortunately, the spiked water catches up with him, and he passes out like a cartoon character. Prince seizes the moment, shoots Lemon, and stuffs him and Yuichi into a bathroom like she's playing a violent game of Tetris. Ladybug crosses paths with the Hornet, who has been hiding in plain sight as an anime mascot and, later, a concession worker. Turns out, she's the mastermind behind the venom-spiked tequila that turned Wolf's Wedding into the world's deadliest open bar. The two engage in a venomous showdown, literally, resulting in Hornet accidentally sticking herself with her own boomslang poison. As she scrambles for the anti-venom, Ladybug snatches it away, and watches her crawl off to meet her untimely end. "Well, that's not very hygienic," he quips. Tangerine finds Lemon's body in the bathroom and swears vengeance. He reconnects with White Death, who reveals he bought out every ticket to Kyoto, ensuring only his targets remain on board. Tangerine runs into Prince, who almost fools him with her wide-eyed schoolgirl act. But Lemon, even in his doped-up state, had left a diesel sticker on her, marking her as the ultimate villain. Before Tangerine can finish her off, Ladybug intervenes, leading to yet another chaotic fight. It ends with Ladybug accidentally shooting Tangerine in the neck, leaving him to bleed out while trying to warn Ladybug about Prince. "Guess that's what they call a fatal miscommunication," Ladybug mutters. Ladybug attempts to kick Prince off the train at the next stop, but she plays the innocent act so convincingly that he hesitates, letting her stay on board. Meanwhile, the elder, Yuichi's father, boards the train, having overheard Prince's scheming. He calmly seats himself near Ladybug and Prince, exuding the kind of zen only a man with vengeance on his mind can manage. Ladybug, however, freaks out when the boomslang snake makes another cameo and bites him. While Ladybug flails around like a slapstick comedian, the elder confronts Prince, ready to turn the tables. Prince's henchman attempts to threaten Wataru at the hospital, but the elder anticipated this and had his own assassin posing as a nurse, neutralizing the threat. As Prince flees, Ladybug returns to find the elder dispensing wisdom like a fortune cookie. He assures Ladybug that luck, good or bad, might just be part of a larger plan. The elder also reveals his backstory. Once a confidant of Menegishi, he now seeks to avenge his wife's death at White Death's hands. Ladybug, rattled but intrigued, realizes that maybe all this chaos isn't as random as it seems. Yuichi and Lemon regain consciousness, with Lemon revealing he survived thanks to a bulletproof vest. Enraged by Tangerine's death, Lemon initially wants to go after Ladybug, but Yuichi and the elder intervene, convincing him to work together as they prepare for the impending showdown with White Death. As the train reaches Kyoto, White Death arrives to board. Prince confronts him, revealing that she is his daughter. Seeking his attention after years of favoritism toward her brother, she tries to manipulate him into using a rigged gun to kill himself. However, White Death dismisses her attempt and walks away. Outside, White Death's henchmen attempt to open the rigged briefcase, while he reveals the true reason behind gathering everyone on the train. Seeking revenge for his wife's death, caused during a botched assassination meant for him, he blames each assassin on board. Lemon and Tangerine killed his men during a mission in Bolivia. Hornet poisoned the surgeon who could have saved his wife, and Ladybug is mistaken for Carver, the man who orchestrated the assassination attempt. His plan hinged on the assassins eliminating each other, but chaos ensues when the briefcase explodes. The elder faces White Death in a fierce battle on the train, while Ladybug and Lemon fight off henchmen as the speeding train becomes uncontrollable. During the melee, Lemon throws himself and the last henchman off the train into a river below. Ladybug manages to hit the emergency brakes, giving the elder a chance to mortally wound White Death. The train derails and crashes into a nearby town in a spectacular wreck. Emerging from the wreckage, White Death tries to execute Ladybug, but the rigged gun backfires, fatally injuring him. Prince, seizing her chance, attempts to finish off Ladybug and the Kimuras, but meets an ironic end when a tangerine truck suddenly runs her over. Maria arrives to rescue Ladybug, who parts ways with the Kimuras. Feeling lucky and embracing a more positive outlook on life, Ladybug's fortune takes a humorous twist as a telephone pole crashes onto Maria's car, forcing them to walk. In a mid-credits scene, it's revealed that Lemon survived his fall. He hijacks the Tangerine truck and uses it to exact his revenge on Prince, avenging Tangerine in the process. What's more dangerous, White Death's assassins or Ladybug's terrible luck? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more movie content. See you next time.